Good evening, boys and girls. Tonight's lesson is lesson 4.5, Estimate Quotients Using Compatible Numbers. Our essential question is, how can you use compatible numbers to estimate quotients? I would like you to write this essential question down at the top of page 77 in your Go Math book. Go ahead and do this now. Okay, boys and girls, let's look at number 3 in your Go Math book on page 77. Could you please circle number 3 for me? Now, it says, our question is asking us to use compatible numbers to estimate the quotient. So we're going to be using compatible numbers to estimate the answer to the division problem. Now, what is a compatible number? A compatible number is just a number that's easy for you to work with. It's easier for us to mentally do the math with this number. So we're going to be changing our dividends to be compatible numbers, easy to work with. So let's look at number 3. It says 784 divided by 8. Now we're going to estimate the quotient. We're going to estimate the answer to this problem. Now I don't want the exact answer. I'm going to have an about answer. And I'm going to change this 784 into a number that's easier to work with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to underline the first two numbers of my dividend, which is 78. So I'm using basic facts to see if I can divide. Now I'm going to look at 78 divided by 8. Well, I don't know if 8s can go into 78 evenly. So I can do my multiples of 8 to figure that out. Now I can say 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, I'm getting close, and 80. Okay, well, I can see that 8 does not go into 78 evenly because I don't have a 78 anywhere in my multiples. But what I do have is a 72 and I have an 80. Now, 78 is closer to 80, so I'm going to use 80 as my compatible number to divide 8 into. So now I'm going to say, well, this 78, that's going to turn into my 80. But then I have a number behind that 78, which is a 4, and he's just going to turn into a 0. Now I'm going to say 800 divided by 8. Well, I'm going to use basic facts to divide. I'm going to say 80 divided by 8 is 10, and I can figure that out because I can even count my multiples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 multiples until I get to 80. But remember, I have this 0 behind the 80, so that needs to be added to my answer also. So 784 divided by 8 is about 100 because I use the 800 as my compatible number and I divided it by 8 and I got an estimate of 100. Okay, let's look at number 5 in your Go Math book. Let's circle number 5. That's the one that we're working on. It says use compatible numbers to estimate the quotient. So we're going to use friendlier numbers, easy to work with numbers, to find an estimate for 315 divided by 8. Now, just like on the last problem, I am going to look at the first two numbers of 315, which is 31, and then I'm going to see if I can divide 31 divided by 8. Well, let's think. What can I multiply by 8 to get 31 or close to 31? I know that 8 times 3 is 24. That's kind of close to 31. Let me see if I can see what 8 times 4 is. Well, 8 times 4 is 32. That is a lot closer to 31 than 24. So I'm going to use my 32 as my compatible number. So instead of 31, I'm going to have a 32. Now there's a number after the 31, so I'm going to change that into a 0. So I'm going to say 320 divided by 8. Now I'm going to use basic facts to divide. 32 divided by 8 is 4. Add my 0, so I have 40. So 315 divided by 8 is about 40. That is my estimate. Okay, boys and girls, let's look at number 7 in your Go Math book. Circle number 7 for me. Number 7 says, use compatible numbers to estimate the quotient. Okay, so I am going to see if I can estimate 4,156 by using compatible numbers. Numbers easy to work with. So first thing is I'm going to underline the first two numbers of my dividend, which is 41. Now I'm going to say, okay, 41 divided by 7. Well, I need to find a multiple of 7 that is close to 41. I'm going to write my multiples down the side of my paper to see what I can find that's close to 41. Okay, I wrote my multiples of 7 down here, and I saw that I can use 35 or 42 as my compatible number because 41 did not show up in one of my multiples. So I'm going to think, which one is closer to 41, 35 or 42? You guessed it, it's 42. Now that we found our compatible number, which is 42, boys and girls, I would like you to try and write the new problem that we're going to be using to divide 7 into using the 42. So we're going to change this 4,156 into a compatible number using 42, and we're going to divide it by 7. See if you can try that. Press pause and work on the problem. Press play when you're ready to go over the answer. Okay, you should have turned your 4,156 into a 4,200 using that 42. Well, now I need to see what 42 divided by 7 is. 42 divided by 7 is 6, plus your 2 zeros would be 600. So our answer is going to be about 600. Okay, boys and girls, let's look at number 9. Circle number 9 for me. Number 9 says, use compatible numbers to find two estimates that the quotient is between. So now we're just going to find two estimates that our actual answer would be between. So same thing, we're going to estimate using compatible numbers, what we've done before, but instead of one answer, we're going to have two answers. Now let's look. Number 9 says 1,624. So we're going to look at the first two numbers of 1,624, which is 16. And we're going to divide 16 divided by 3. Remember, we're finding the estimate, so we don't want an exact answer. Now let's think. What multiples would I get that would be close to 16 if we counted by 3s? Well, I know that 3 times 5 is 15, And remember, they're saying two estimates. So let's see if we can find another one that's close to 16. I know that 3 times 6 is 18. Now, isn't 16 in between 15 and 18? It is. So these are going to be our two numbers that we're going to use to estimate the quotients. So let's use our 15 first. So we're going to say 15, two numbers behind it would give me 1,500 divided by 3. Well, 15 divided by 3 is 5, plus the two zeros is 500. There's one number. Now let's use our 18. So we can say 18 plus the two zeros divided by 3. 18 divided by 3 is 6 plus two zeros, 600. So there is our answer. What are the two numbers? The two estimates that the quotient is in between? The quotient, the actual answer for 1,624 divided by 3 will be between 500 and 600. Those are the two numbers that our answer to this will be between. Boys and girls, let's jump down to number 17, the problem-solving question. Go ahead and circle number 17 for me. Number 17 says, a CD store sold 3,467 CDs in 7 days. About the same number of CDs were sold each day. About how many CDs did the store sell each day? Well, I can tell this is a division problem because they said same number of CDs sold each day. Same number means an equal number. So that tells me that this is a division problem. So it's going to be 3,467 divided by our 7 days. Now they want to know about how many CDs did the store sell each day. So I know I'm going to have to estimate the quotient. Now, 3,476 divided by 7. I'm going to use compatible numbers to find the estimate. Let me underline the 34 and the 7. I need to find a multiple of 7 that is close to 34 to use as my compatible number. Well, I know that 7 times 5 is 35, and that is really close to 34. So I'm going to use my 35 as my compatible number. Now, 3,467 turns into 3,500. Now I'm going to divide this into 7. So I can say by using basic facts that 35 divided by 7 is 5 plus the two zeros would give me 500. So the CD store sold about 500 CDs each day. Okay, your homework questions are on page 77. Remember that you are only doing numbers 1 and 2, and we are estimating quotients using the compatible numbers strategy. After you get done with your homework problems, I would like you to assess yourself. Please tell me if you feel like you're a level 1, a novice, level 2, apprentice, level 3, practitioner, or level 4, expert. Make sure you write this down at the bottom of page 77 in your Go Math book. And we will see you tomorrow in class to have more practice with this lesson. See you tomorrow. Bye.